Hello and welcome, David Judge here, and today we're going to talk about the top 5 online marketing strategies if you're on a tight budget. Yes, and this can be if you're a startup, this can be if you want to get some extra turnover, or you're putting a lot on the purse strings and you want to find other ways to get potential customers but simply don't have money to spend. Now, before we get into it, I wanted to mention the balance in business and the idea of money versus time. And you know that old saying that, money makes the world go round? It's actually so true in many parts of life, because you know what, money can buy you stuff and it can pay for education, and in business it can actually leverage your business growth. So I mean, sure, money alone won't do it all for you, as you need the physical work combined with experience, yet if you have money, in reality it makes things easier. Yes, and I know I'm getting a little philosophical, but stick with me here. In business, if you don't have the money, you still have a really, really powerful tool, and that tool is time. Now, time in many ways can be used to exchange for money, which is the perfect lead-in for the strategies, as each of these 5 strategies will take you time to complete, and I would say that you'd be able to sustain them for a period of time by yourself, but ultimately the objective would be to eventually have someone else doing them all for you. So as we share each one of these strategies today, I want you to think of how you could do these yourself just to get started, and then ultimately how you could pass them on to somebody else. Sound good? Okay, great. Okay, so let's get into the top 5 online marketing strategies if you're on a tight budget, and we'll jump straight into number 1, which is to set up your local presence of your business online. Now, one of the most common ways to do this is to set up a Google Places local account, which is basically a way of showing Google your local location of your business and the actual areas that you service. Now, you can upload images and videos of your business, you can actually link back to your website, and finally you can get your clients to leave reviews for your business, which will actually show businesses and people why they would want to deal with you. Now, the end result, if you set this up correctly, making sure that you're focusing on adding as much value as possible, is to show up locally when people search for your business in the search engines. Now, one special point to note is if you're actually setting yourself up on the internet using Google Local, for example, you have to make sure you're keeping everything consistent, which means your business name, address, contact details are consistent across everything, and they match the exact details of your business as you'd search for it if you were to do a business search in, let's say, ASIC. Okay, so that leads us into number 2. Now, number 2 is to engage in social media. Now, social media can take a lot of time if you're on a tight budget. Then instead of going and trying to cover everything and blanket everything, just focus on 1 or 2 areas and go for it. Now, one of my personal favorites is LinkedIn, and I've chosen LinkedIn as I target all the clients that I target are businesses, which makes LinkedIn the business-to-business approach, which is totally perfect for me. Now, people can see my experience, my recommendations, the content that I've set up, and they understand why they should do business with me. And the reason I mention this point is you need to make sure that you're approaching your social target audience being mindful of the social platform. Now, for example, on LinkedIn, you wouldn't see me posting anything about a weekend that I have out with my mates, or pictures of me wearing a bikini in my profile image. Not that I would share that anywhere, because the profile pictures of me wearing my bikini are ones that I don't share with anyone, maybe my wife. Anyway, moving on. When you're using social media, don't just keep posting stuff. Interact and engage, meaning you comment on others and you actually show interest in what others are actually doing. And last point, be mindful that social media will take at least 6 months worth of elbow grease before you get traction. So make sure you keep a consistent 6-month action going and you will reap the benefits, guaranteed. Okay, number 3, networking with others. And this is sort of like an offline strategy, isn't it? But it can actually translate to an online opportunity as well, because what can actually happen is you actually meet with people face to face, and you can discuss their website, your website, and different opportunities. And I have to actually admit, I've sourced some of my biggest online deals as a result of networking. Now, interestingly, these deals that I've sourced haven't actually been direct deals the majority of the time. What they've done is I've actually been introduced to, and I've met and spoken with a person, and they've referred me to another person for talking publicly, guest posts, SEO work to help people with their ranking and their search engine visibility, or they've actually gone and bought other of my direct services. So what you want to think of is when you're actually out there networking, if you're meeting with people, think of how that offline opportunity can convert to an online opportunity. Okay, number 4, create case studies. Now, case studies is an interesting one because what you're doing there is you're actually showing people a real life scenario about an experience within your business. Now, on top of that, what you're actually doing is you're showing people how you use one of your products. You can talk about a specific scenario and how you overcame the problem, or other examples that actually give people an inside glimpse of how it is to do business with you. Now, if you don't know, people prefer to do business with those that they know, like, and trust, and case studies help you bridge that gap, especially as they show potential clients how they can get a real feel of how you do business. Now, there are a number of ways to get your case studies out there online for distribution, and they can include like putting them on your website, social media, or you could even send an email to all of your existing leads and clients saying, hey, check it out. Okay, number 5, and lucky last, is to actually ask for referrals. Now, this might sound a bit odd, especially as an online marketing strategy, yet referrals are still by far the most cost-effective way to get extra business through your door. Now, there are many ways you can actually set up online via a referral system, with one of the most common, a simple "would you refer me" email to every single customer that has experienced your business. Now, you can also offer a financial incentive, for example, 10% off your next purchase, or other incentives to act as a way to entice people to actually refer your services. Yeah? So there we go. 5 solid online marketing strategies if you're on a tight budget. Now, you need to remember, marketing doesn't always cost money. There are literally thousands of companies out there right now that are succeeding on a tight budget, and many times you just need to think outside of that little box that you work in and use a little bit of elbow grease and creativity. Okay, so let's move on and wrap it up. In the next video, we're going to talk about the 5 different types of online content every business must have. We're going to delve in deep on the purpose of content and how you can get the best of both worlds to get the search engines to prefer you, to rank you, as well as to get people to think of you when they're considering your types of products and services. Now, if you have a question that you'd like me to answer, make sure you get in contact with me and I would love to hear from you. As always, this is David Judge talking online marketing and showing you how you can grow your business online.